Carboni's Pizzeria wants to fuel your Game 1 playoff party this Saturday. Visit one of their 30 locations to enjoy delicious pizza and get ready for the playoff run. Find your nearest Carboni's today at carbonispizza.com.
Tickets for Flop Sweat in that promo suite, Tenant?
Yeah, I got to print them up for you, unless you want to just do it without.
That's okay. We'll do it. We won't do it now because you need to ask me questions, so you can't answer the phone. But, we have one last show for the 2025-2026 comedy season. The Sauce Man, Meat Sauce, amazing human being, amazing comedian. He'll be the feature. I'm headlining. Larry Mondello guy, very, I would say he's been compared to a fat Jim Gaffigan. He will be the MC. That will be at the New Hope Cinema Grill. Great venue, terrific food. You can have something to eat. We'll give away a pair of tickets before the program is over today, Saturday night. And tickets are available at cinemagrill.com. But right now, it's time now for 534.
Time now for 5 questions. Well, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. Brought to you by Willow River Company. Question number 1. It's time now to consider the course.
Let's consider the course.
Yeah, amid reports that Saudi Arabia's public investment fund might be on the verge of pulling its funding for the league, Live Golf CEO Scott O'Neill told staff in an email on Wednesday that its season will go on as planned, uninterrupted, and at full throttle. The email, which was obtained by ESPN, didn't directly address reports that PIF might stop investing in the breakaway circuit after spending more than $5 billion since its inception in 2022, or whether the league will continue competitions beyond the season. O'Neill wrote, quote, "I want to be crystal clear. Our season continues exactly as planned, uninterrupted, and at full throttle. While the media landscape is often filled with speculation, our reality is defined by the work we do on the grass. We are heading into the heart of our 2026 schedule with the full energy of an organization that is bigger, louder, and more influential than ever before." Common, what is the future of Live Golf?
It'll be over soon. It was a bad idea from the beginning. It was badly executed. I from the very beginning I knew it was never going to work. Unless you could get 30, 40, 50 of the main players to jump so that it actually becomes the PGA Tour. The guys that are on the tour, I guarantee you, if you got them in a moment of, let's say you got called and you're doing the Joy Buzzer beer camp with them and said, John, if you could do it over again, you think you'd stay with the tour? It's absolutely, positively. Why do you think guys are coming back? Koepka came back. Reed's coming back. He went over to the DP World Tour. It's awful. They get there and they're going, what am I doing here? It's a circus atmosphere. There's music pounding out everywhere you play. There's people cheering. It's a team format. There's the tournaments are meaningless. Nobody cares who wins. Have you ever cared about who wins a Live tournament? I mean, there's a lot of people out there who don't care who wins a PGA tournament, but there's much more interest in the PGA Tour. And the courses are made to shoot up. Part of the theories are the reason some of these guys struggle when it comes to the majors, because it's so laid back. And look, there's like 4 or 5 really good players on Live, world-class guys, and the rest are just guys that took the money and run. Yeah. The Lee Westwoods of the world, the Garcias of the world. Yeah, they got nothing left. They got nothing. Never was or never was or never will be agains. And then they want low scores. So there's no rough. It's just 22, 25 under. So then when you play Augusta, it's like, this is a little different. A good friend of mine, who's very successful in high finance. It's what he told me one time, and now I believe it more than ever. He says, nobody's better with money than the public investment fund. Is that what it's called, the public investment fund? Nobody knows how to manage money better than they do. And they've got unlimited funds. But he said even they eventually will go, there's no return here. This doesn't make any sense to us. It just doesn't. Even no matter how much money you have, after a while you go, This is a bad business decision. It's a bad proposition. So I could be completely wrong. Maybe there's people out there that love Liv, and maybe what's the head of the guy, Liv, what's his name again? Whatever his title is, whatever the guy's
Scott
name
O'Neill.
is. Scott O'Neill. Maybe Scott O'Neill's spot on. Maybe it'll be full steam ahead. They'll be here this year, next year. Maybe Liv will eventually take it all over. I don't think it will. I think it's probably, there's not much time left, I would think.
Question number 2.
Time now for an in-depth look at the state of hockey.
Rachel Krychak of ESPN.com wrote a story titled Stanley Cup Contender Flaws, Top Issues for NHL Playoff Teams.
Ooh, I like these.
For the Wild, she wrote, the Wild have a clear weakness up the middle. Joel Eriksson Ek, Ryan Hartman, and Danilo Urov do not stack up well against their counterparts in Colorado, Nathan McKinnon, Brock Nelson, Nazem Kadri, or Dallas, Rupe Hintz, Wyatt Johnson, Matt Duchene. Eriksson Ek is a fantastic shutdown forward. Hartman has produced in line with a mid-tier second-line center since the Olympic break, and Urov is a developing third-line center. But it is not a stretch to say that the Wild's best center would play the third-line center role for their opponents. Common, do you agree that the Wild's center position is their biggest flaw?
Well, 2 things. I'm not paying as close attention to the Wild as I once did, so I think I'll turn this around to you. That's one reason. The second reason is that allows me to prepare my lunch. So what do you think? I mean, are they, 2 things. Are they weak up the middle? And what was the last thing about their opponents? They wouldn't play like on the...
They would basically be the third center on those other 2 teams.
Do you...
Their top player would be the third center.
Do you believe both of those, that they're weak up the middle and that their top player would be third on the other teams?
I wouldn't say they're weak up the middle. I would say they're not as strong.
Okay. Have you ever hugged Joel Eriksson Ek?
No,
Okay.
I have not.
I just want to make sure.
I have not hugged Ryan Hartman.
Okay.
I've never met Danilo Urov.
Okay. Have you ever been with them wearing a Speedo at a swimming pool or in a hot tub anywhere?
I've never been anywhere wearing a Speedo at a swimming pool.
Okay, very good.
That's never existed in my life.
Okay, very good.
I don't completely disagree with this. I think when the Wild got off to a hot start, I think, and even before the season started, I think we all looked and said, hey, they could use a top 6 center, even more specifically a first line center. And they opted to go use their trade equity on Quinn Hughes, which frankly, he provides as much offense as maybe a number 1 center would anyway. So they gained offense. They just did it through a different avenue, a different channel. They have 2 high scoring wingers and a high scoring defenseman. They just don't have it at the center position. You know, Joel Eriksson Ek, I don't have much negative to say about him. He's as responsible with 2-way center as there is in the entire National Hockey League. These other centers that this columnist is talking about, he's going to be responsible for shutting them down. Ryan Hartman, yes, not your prototypical first-line center. I will say, though, right now, he's playing as well as we've seen him play. He was good in the playoffs last year, and he's coming into this postseason on top of his game. So he might not be your prototypical number 1 center, but he might play that way in the playoffs, and maybe he's built for the playoffs. Urov, there's still some growing to do there. He's just young. He's just not at his prime yet. But I think he'll get there. We just have to wait a little bit for him to get there. They at least added some depth at center, bringing in McCarron, and even Nick Foligno can play center when needed or take some faceoffs. So I don't think they're bad or awful at center, but yeah, can they match up with Nathan McKinnon, Nazem Kadri, and Brock Nelson? No, but nobody else in the league can. And Dallas, by the way, Rupe Hintz is hurt, and I don't know if he's going to play in the series. So one of their top 3 centers is likely to, at least at the beginning of the series, is not even going to be in the series.
I was looking for something as you were talking, not that I wasn't listening, but looking for something with alliteration like, I can't think of it, that concernometer, but that doesn't sound good. But
the opposite of a hopometer?
Yeah. Does this, on a scale of 1 to 10, because you say, yeah, we probably are a little not quite as strong in the middle as these other teams, does that cause you, could that be a reason we lose? If it's over, is that, well, we're just soft up the middle or not as good, or are you concerned about this or not really?
I mean, they've kind of played at Dallas's level all year without having those centers.
Right.
I mean, it is something moving forward, and I actually think this offseason, Bill Guerin might take another big swing to try to address that.
Okay.
Maybe like an Austin Matthews from the Toronto Maple Leafs, you slot him as your number one center, and then Eric's an extra second center, and all of a sudden you're looking pretty good at the center position. So, yeah, I think if there's a spot on the roster where we're not the best, I think 1 through 6 defensively they're as good as anybody. Clearly, they have some high end wings. Bottom 6 is solid. They've gotten better at the penalty kill. Goaltending, at least in the regular season, has been pretty solid. So yeah, if you're going to pick out a flaw, that's it. But
okay,
I think it'll get addressed. It just probably won't be, clearly won't be before the playoffs.
Time for a quick one?
No, I already deleted them.
Oh.
And that's it for today's edition of 5 questions. Well, actually 3 questions, but 5 sounds like more than 4.
A very controversial 5-3-4, as it were. See, it's Thursday, so no rock talk. Cash contest doesn't start till next week, I think. We did Purple Prey already. We already did Whiff of the Wild. I'm tapped out.
Controversial Vikings news.
Oh, yes, I have some controversial Vikings news on the other side of the break on the Common Man program on the Fan.
Join the Power Trip Morning Show up at Grandview Lodge April 30th and May 1st. Don't miss out on your shot to win great prizes, including a custom KFAN and Grandview co-branded golf bag, a tailor-made driver, and more. Oh, and did we mention a 2-night Grandview stay with food, golf, and a massage at their spa? Get all the details now at KFAN.com/Grandview.
What's the name of the place?
That would be Grandview Lodge.
And what's the date on that?
April 30th and May 1st.
Well, I'm going to
join the Power Trip Morning Show.
By the way, hey, just let you know I'm going to be there too.
Oh.
That's not mentioned anywhere on that. And the Common Man hosting the KFAN, the Grandview Lodge KFAN Common Man Golf Opener for 20, 25 years in a row. I'm not mentioned on that.
No.
That's funny. Huh.
Seems like that would be the A topic.
I'd even take, how when they put you on the marquee, they'll say Willie Nelson. And then on the bottom will say, is it Avett, did we decide, or Abbott?
Avett Brothers, yeah.
And the Avett Brothers would be in small or tight below that. I'd even take that just to mention. Oh, and by the way, Common will be there too. Hosting the entire weekend. Those guys get in, get out. They're like thieves in the night. I'll be there all weekend. I'll be there beginning Thursday night, and I'll be there through Sunday. They're there for 2 days. They come in Thursday, do their thing, go Friday, and then boom, they ride off into the wilderness.
Or even when I was reading it, they should have a spot at the end where, how sometimes in ads they'll read stuff really, really quickly to try to get it within 30 seconds because it's really... you can Power Trip Morning Show April 30th and May 1st, and Common Man will be up there to do.
Yeah, why don't they do that?
Yeah.
Common will be there doing Tea to Green with Paul Peterson and Craig Morgan. Hope to see you there. He'll also be hosting the tailgate party afterwards. Okay. Well, that's a great way to get into the next segment. Be like running Rush Limbaugh during your show or on another station that is in the same building as you, and then announcing it. Hey, right now you can listen to Rush Limbaugh now. Go to, and then, well, I'm on the air right now. Why are we trying on my show send listeners to Rush Limbaugh? You remember that, don't you? Were you around then?
I do remember that.
You had to play bumper music for an entire segment. I heard it, and I went right to the coroner's office. I said, what are you doing? What? You're trying to take my listeners, who I need to have for my livelihood, for my bonuses, and you're encouraging the listeners to leave this station and go listen to Rush. He doesn't need any help. And you know what? They took the promo off and apologized. We shouldn't have done that. Advertise Rush Limbaugh during the other shows. I understand. Look, we're a big company, right? And that national stuff, they need. They're making more money off the national. They're making more money off of Rush Limbaugh than they're making off Common Man, and he's Rush Limbaugh. Well, was Rush Limbaugh? He's dead now. But I mean, there's other places, you could run in mine, like who's on first? No. Who's one of those other guys that's on, one of those national guys? Fox guy. What's his name? Hannity. He's on after me. We'll promote Hannity during my show, right? It was so ridiculous. But yeah, and if you see me there, wave at me.
And I'm guessing they didn't have the cross promotions going the other way.
No.
During Rush's show, they were saying, listen to sports talk with the Common Man.
And do you think on the Power Trip Morning Show, the vibe says, join Common Man up at Grandview Lodge? I
would doubt that, yeah.
Man. You talk about second fiddle. I'm second fiddle. I'm, like at the orchestra, they'll have first chair for cello, means you're the big dog. I'm not even second fiddle. I'm like in the back row. They don't even give me a chair to sit on there. That's okay.
You were right. Sports Talk Radio is made for complaining.
It is. That's exactly what it is. I have some other complaints too. You know what we needed to
this
call?
Place sometimes.
This place. How about this tend to be? Scare scale.
Ooh, scare scale. I like it.
Scare scale with up the middle with the Minnesota Wild. The scare scale. I do like that. Someone sent a text message during the break and said, "What are you having for lunch? Was that a pepper grinder?" Did you hear me? Did you hear me while you were going on about the Wild? Listen to this now. Okay, hold on. I did it purposely. I put the microphone right down by it. Listen.
I didn't hear it at all.
Listen. You heard that now, didn't you?
I heard that one, yes.
Yeah. So I was doing that while you were talking. You didn't hear it. And someone asked what it was. Back when I was working at a radio station in...
I find it hard to believe you weren't fully focused on what I was saying during 5 questions.
Why would I be? You're talking about the
It's not the Common Man I know.
I just asked you a question I knew would take you a while to answer, and then I just started eating my food. And then I wanted the sound effect to be on the radio. See, I was doing theater of the mind. And then he guessed that it was a pepper grinder, and it's not. It's an avocado toast seasoning grinder, because I'm having an avocado, not on toast, but avocado. But I remember radio stations used to do all these different contests, and everybody would, if they were a cool contest, they were done at small market radio stations all over the country because they were really cool. And one of them at KQDI in Great Falls, Montana, where I got my start, was, it's time now for the KQDI Secret Sound. We had a bunch of them. It was a pretty big grand prize. Back then in like 81, it was like $10,000 or something, which in 1981, I think it was like $10,000. That's it in 1981. And so, but the thing was, you had to word it exactly right. You just couldn't go, yeah, that's some kind of a spice grinder. You win. You would have to say an avocado toast seasoning grinder. You would have to say it. Barry Cooper was our program director and midday guy. The secret sound was when he would open his refrigerator, the motor would start running. And you had to, and somebody finally answered it correctly after like 9 months of the contest. It was the sound of Barry Cooper's refrigerator motor starting. And we had some clues that we would give along the way, because who's going to guess that, right? It's like Wordle, for crying out loud, right? But the guy won. Then the other one was you could enter, you'd win a contest, and then you would get a key for a car. You ever hear about those? We maybe even have done that here at iHeart over the years. Maybe back when it was Evergreen or whatever, Clear Channel, whatever, where they give away keys to cars. And then you go to one big place, like you go to like we could do it at the State Fair, where we have a car next to the booth, and then everybody that won a key, one of those keys is going to open the door to that car. And people come up and they try to put their key in there. Then finally someone opens it, and you've won a new car. Those are some of the contests that you would do. And
it sounds like you guys had tactical.
Oh, we had tactical. And I know I've recanted this tale, but this is still one of my favorites. So we had qualifiers for some contest. Rick Alden was the 10 at night to 2 o'clock guy in the morning, right? And he had a qualifier for the contest, right? And he wrote the guy's name down on the thing, but he was on the phone and he took a request. And somebody requested a song by Elvis Presley and the Jordanaires. That was Elvis Presley's background vocalist, right? So he wrote on the piece of paper, Jordanaires. When Barry Cooper, the program director, came in, picked up the sheet and recorded a promo, congratulations to our latest winner, Jordanaires. That ran all day. Jordan Ayers. Congratulations to Jordan. There was no Jordan Ayers. It was a band. Those are the wacky things that happen in radio that people don't know about behind the scenes, sort of like the left-handed microphone and shoveling the megahertz into the transmitter, those kinds of things. Jordan, it was just done just like that. Jordan Ayers, congratulations to our latest winner on the cash contest. It's just, you can't make that kind of stuff up.
My favorite mistake that we've had here was back when Johan Santana was pitching here. And Johan Santana was like doing an appearance somewhere on like a Saturday. Voiceover guy apparently was not a Twins fan because he goes, meet Twins pitcher John Santana.
No, he did not.
Saturday at Costco. Oh, it's hilarious.
John
Santana. Yeah.
At least he didn't say Carlos. You know, that would have really sent people over the edge. I've had several people send this as we get ready to go to break. A text message with the same information, but just worded different. Common man, be prepared to fly solo at Flop, Sweat, and Tears as Meat Sauce practically lost his voice this morning. Is that true? Several people say.
He did have like no voice today.
Did it sound legit? Because let's just say ticket sales have been tepid. And do you think he just doesn't want to show up? He's trying to duck out? Do you think he's just trying to duck out, or did it sound legitimate? Because I could pretend my voice was really scratchy, too, if I really wanted to get out of it. The show must go on. That's the thing. If he's not there...
What would you do?
Well, he's got to be there. The show must go on. Haven't you ever heard that old showbiz take? The show must go on. There's no canceling on the show.
But there's no, like, replacement? You don't have, like, a backup comedian?
We don't even have any comedians. Where do we find a backup comedian?
To refund the...
Well, I mean, we don't even have any comedians, so how are we going to find a backup comedian when we don't even have any regular comedians? I don't know. I hope he's there. Let's break and come back. Someone else...
Well, he was at least here today, so it's just a voice thing. It's not like he was sick.
Somebody said they've been waiting for years for that controversial Vikings news. You won't have to wait any longer. Other side of the break. Controversial Vikings news right here on the Fan.
Don't miss the Vikings draft party at US Bank Stadium on April 23rd. Catch all of the first round action with us all night long, plus meet and greets with current players and legends, and your shot at tons of prizes. Tickets at Vikings.com/draft party.
Difficult it is to text your response to your youngest after he says, so, how'd you play today? And you got to say, I was awful. It's just, it's sad. You know, your son kind of looks up to you, and he's seen me knock down punch, cut, bay draws, and just every day now he says, how'd you shoot? Not what did you shoot, but how'd you play? I was terrible. I don't know what else to tell you. I was just awful. So, but it is what it is. A number of people have asked about, well, if Sauce couldn't go, who could you find as a fill-in? Someone said, how about Marnie Gellner? We've offered Marnie to... Do you remember when the Power Trip had that sellout where they had hundreds of thousands of people lined up at Canterbury?
Yeah.
They had... I don't know, it was 10, 12, 15,000 people to watch their comedy show. And each of them did like 2-3 minutes, right? Try doing 45. Try being the guy in the marquee and says, and now you're headliner for the night. Please put your hands together for Ben Lieber. And I love Ben. Try doing 45 minutes and make them laugh so hard their sides will ache, their hearts will go pity-pat. We offered Marnes to work with us because I heard that of all the people that performed, she was probably the best. Were you at that? I guess you were.
I wasn't at it, but I watched the...
Oh, you did?
It's on YouTube.
And how good was she?
She was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was funny.
And she said she would be interested. And a couple of times, it's been always, well, there's been Wolves conflicts or these conflicts. She came to our show at Dahlgreen when it was Meat Sauce, myself. This was last fall. And she scoped it out, and I thought for sure she was going to go, but she is not wanted to. And then we've offered it up to Tommy Olson, and Tommy's love to do it, can't wait to do it. And then every time you come up to Tommy, a bunch of my buddies and we're going somewhere, or I got some socks I got to sort, or I've got paint I need to watch dry. They're delivering a boiling hot vat of asphalt. When it comes to actually doing it, Mark Rosen did. Mark Rosen went up there.
He stepped up.
Yeah, he stepped up. Of course, the second time he read off cue cards, but he was still there, right? He still did it. So I don't know.
What time is your show Saturday?
I think
night?
it's 8:00.
Okay, I was gonna say if it was at like 7, you could just watch Wild Stars overtime on the big screen.
Well, that's what we're going to do.
And kill some time.
I mentioned that yesterday.
Yeah.
That was the plan. I was kind of hoping would be more like a 7:00 start. So if the comedy was falling upon deaf ears, then we could just say, hey, let's go ahead and just turn this into a wild viewing party is what we'll do. And we still might end up doing that. I don't know. Because it starts at 4:30.
4:30 start.
Will be over. Yeah, it'll be over 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, about 2.5 hours, 7. And you said might start closer to 5. So, people would just be coming. Hey, well, you know what? We can DVR it and then just play it on tape delay. That's what we could do. So anyway, the show must go on, and we will be there one way or the other for Flop, Sweat, and Tears.
Can Larry Mondello guy go longer?
Oh, yeah. He's got plenty. When he does some of his shows, I think he headlines sometimes, but he MCs for us. Yeah, I've said this before. I have an hour of material, but only about 4 minutes of it's funny. So, it's like, just because you got the material doesn't mean it's going to cut it. So we talked about the, and I'm not much into the scandalous stuff, but the Vrabel, Rossini.
Yeah.
And someone said, doesn't it seem to be awful unfair to Rossini? She's out of a job. Vrabel stays on. She resigned.
Yes.
She was not let go. As a matter of fact, I think initially, and I should admit this working at the All Sports station. I just glanced at the story. I didn't do an in-depth read on it, but it sounds to me like the Athletic, at least for sure, until they found out more, they were backing her. She kind of said that in her.
They were doing an investigation as we speak.
Yeah. And she said as much and said basically, they both denied there's any hanky-panky going on, and she just said she didn't want to make it was almost like I don't want to even lend any credence, validity to this, because it's just preposterous. But so.
Well, and what did Vrabel do that was fireable?
Well, that's the
right.
thing.
Like Diana, well, she didn't get fired, as you mentioned, but she is a journalist.
Right.
And so she is losing credibility, depending on how you view it, but
correct.
Whereas, if Vrabel's losing credibility with reporters, that's not affecting his job in any way, shape, or form. Right? It might affect his marriage, which good luck to him.
Yeah,
but
right,
they're different, two different job descriptions. So
this is true as well. So anyway, that's our answer to that. Greg Beecham writes for Associated Press. And I'd asked you yesterday, I said, who won between Warriors and Clips? And of course, because you pay attention to sports, you go, that's tomorrow, meaning last night. That's tomorrow, or as tonight, not that game hasn't been played yet. They played it last night in Inglewood. Mm-hmm. Headline, Warriors wake up the echoes of their championship past in vintage comeback win over Clippers. Breathless headline. It's like, it's a play-in game between two teams with losing records. I mean, you can still say it was exciting and Steph was brilliant. What did he have, 27 in the second half or something? Hit a game winner and this and that and thing. But I just... am I wrong to like... It's okay, but to not make it out as it's some... That's why we make a big deal like a miracle on ice or, a team coming back from a 3-0 deficit or whatever the case may be. It's a playing game between two lousy clubs. And I guess, Draymond was really good defensively against Kawhi and Steph was really good. And
it was the bottom playing game.
Yeah.
It was the 9-10 matchup as opposed to 7-8. So Steph and the Warriors still have to win even just to get in the playoffs.
Steph Curry hit 7 3-pointers while scoring 35 points, holding every fan at Intuit Dome in his thrall with another dazzling display of his unmatched shooting skill. Greg's a good writer. I wonder how long it took him to come up with that, though. He reworded it a few times because you really want that first paragraph to really hit him. You want to make it almost like it's Mark Twain, right? Or Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Or Louise May Alcott. You want to make it, and that's pretty good. Steph Curry hits holding every fan at Intuit Stadium in his thrall with another dazzling display of his unmatched shooting skill. I would have wrote holding every fan was into it at Intuit Dome. That's what I would have said. Had a little play on words there, and of course that's why I'm not writing for the Associated Press. In the fourth quarter of an elimination game, Dre Green bodied up to Kawhi Leonard and utterly shut down one of the greatest scorers of their generation. Curry and Green have already done it all and won it all during 14 years and 4 ships together. The Golden State Warriors' visit to the L.A. Clippers on Wednesday night was merely a play-in game. Well, that's the point. But yet both the style and substance of this comeback victory indelibly evoked the brilliance of the Warriors' golden era. Did it really? I mean, we're talking about, did they win 4 ships in 6 years? Was that their stretch?
Sure.
I think it was 4 in 6 years. The few remaining men who have been around for the whole ride were thrilled to travel back in time. Here's what Steve Kerr said. For one night, we're us. We're champions again. And I know that may sound crazy.
They won 4 in 9 years.
Oh, it's crazy. All right.
That's all, folks.
I know that may sound crazy to everybody
Actually,
out.
8 years.
I know that may sound crazy to everybody out there. It's a play-in game. I don't care. Just absolutely beautiful to watch. All right. I guess. That's sort of like there are times I can go to the driving range. Knock down, punch, cut, fade, draws, knock down, punch, cut, fades, knock down, punch, cuts, knockdowns, knocks, downs. I can do it all. Get out to the golf course when all of a sudden, okay, bell rings, let's go play. And that's what I consider a play-in game between the two bottom teams. Or was it the 7 and 9? Is it 8 and
7 plays 8.
Okay.
9 plays 10.
9 plays 10.
And then the winner of 9-10 plays the loser of 7-8 to get in as the 8 seed.
And then it goes on to say, here's Curry. This is what you work all year for, all summer, all off season, to play in the bottom 7-10 game. No, he didn't say that. We're not guaranteed a series yet, but these nights make everything worth it because you feel the anxiety of having to perform when the lights are bright in do-or-die games. Considering how our season has gone, all the injuries and all that, for us to play the way we did tonight was special. It's got a game where, you keep the program and say, I was there. I saw that 9 versus 10 game. I saw it. I was there in attendance. All right. I mean, again, it's, because for me, because he has done it so often over the years, the 4 championships, and you say 8 years, and Draymond's been Draymond, he shuts people down defensively. It's like, to me, we've seen this before. Right? And so, now, if they were to go on, if they end up getting that, what are you trying to get? 7 seed, right? You'd like to get, but even if you get it, let's say
they can only get the 8.
They can only get the 8. So let's say they get in at 8. They would play OKC.
They'll get swept.
Go off for 35 points in game 1 and have Draymond shut down SGA, whoever he'd be matched up against. Then I would say, whoa, how about that? Thrilling days, and that would still only be 1 game. Still would probably be a gentleman's sweep, right? Be more than likely as OKC would win 4-1. But you got you got to keep some and they even admit, both Steph and Kerr both admit, Yeah, I know. Probably for the average person, So I guess when you're involved, it means more, It's like, let's say you're playing in the consolation championship of some high school tournament. It's still nice to win the console, right? Better than nothing. It's like sort of like a participation trophy. But winning the console is winning the console. It's winning a play-in game. It
feels like the Gophers winning the Quick Lane Bowl.
Yes.
Over Bowling Green.
Who ended up, by the way, winning the Crown? What was it called? The Crown Tournament? The Crown, remember we got beat by Baylor?
No idea.
Who ended up winning that? See if you could find that, because I kind of forgot all about it. Actually, you know what I did? I DVR'd it. I'm just waiting. Don't tell me. Don't tell me who won, because I don't want to. I don't want you to spoil it for me. But so again, and look, I've always, who cannot admire? It's sort of, I had this debate with people about Brady. When Brady.
West Virginia won.
West Virginia. The Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah
Take me home,
River.
Country Road.
Yeah. Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Did you know life is old there? It's older than the breeze, younger than the mountains, growing like the tree. No. Older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. It was like the debate I would have with people about Tom Brady. I want Tom. I want Tom. People would just go, well, can't you just, the people, you like Dynasty, like you like when Pat Mahomes plays well. You would like.
Yeah. I loved Michael Jordan winning all the time.
Yeah. And see,
I like watching Tiger Woods win all the time.
Am I in the vast minority?
But I wasn't that way with Tom Brady.
And why weren't you there with Brady? The cheating accusations, or
I don't know.
Maybe you should see a psychiatrist and find out, why did I not root for Brady like I did for MJ, TW, and who else did you say? Or was that it? MJ and TW.
You said Mahomes.
Oh, Mahomes. Because you do root for Mahomes.
Mahomes is I love the way he plays. Right. He's entertaining. It's a fun style of football.
But people would say to me,
Brady was a boring style of football.
Yeah.
Drop back 3 steps, throw a 7-yard slant.
Yeah,
5-yard out here.
I tend to agree.
It was boring. It was very effective, clearly.
And people will say, well, can't you just enjoy his... Any of those players we just named, can't you enjoy their... What's the word I'm looking for? Their talent, but I just mean their dominance, just how good. It's like, well, I respect that. And I can say I admire it, tip my cap to him. But I don't like seeing this. I suppose if it's your team, like if the Vikings or the Wild, in your case, the Wild or whatever, won a couple of cups in a row, you'd want a three-peat, right?
Sure.
But when it's not much, I just get tired of watching the same old guys, same old thing. Doesn't mean you can't step back and go, these guys are great. Steph Curry's probably the best pure shooter in the history of the National Basketball Association. And I didn't mind watching them win. But after a while, you go, I've seen this story before. Do you really want the Dodgers to win another World Series? You're going to get really excited about that? Look at how dominant Ohtani is. Well, I want him to strike out more. I don't want them to be the dominant team. And so, I like, so like right now, as we look at the NBA playoffs, we don't really have what do we call it? When the team is really good, dynasty.
Yeah.
We don't have a dynasty in the NBA right now.
We might be beginning one.
Well, we might.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. We don't have it yet. That's my point. We don't have it yet. So if OKC were to win again and do so in the fashion they did last year, I could go, man, that's pretty cool. That goes to show you how good they are. And the well-run organization. They have really talented players. And our guy, Chet Holmgren. Holmgren looks hungry. SGA and all the rest. Okay, that's cool. 2 in a row, great. I don't really want to see McIlroy win another jacket. If he does, great, but when it comes to Masters time next year, and I won't, it's not that I'll be going, hit it in the water, shank it in the woods. But I would like to see, I like to see other people share in the glory. So I was rooting for Justin Rose over the weekend. And so, I just am not a big Dynasty guy. I don't mind them. They're okay. TV show wasn't too bad. But I like to see it spread around. So, but that being said, because of everything Steph said in there, with the injuries we've had, if a team with a losing record, I'll be pulling for Golden State to upset OKC. Okay, I think that's kind of the American way. We root for underdogs unless the overcat, wouldn't that be the opposite of an underdog? That is your team. Then you want that team to win, right? But a team with a losing record, what was Golden State's record? Were they like almost 10 games under 500? How cool would it be for them to all of a sudden beat the Oklahoma City?
Oh, it'd be great.
Thunder.
I would love for that to happen. I'll be cheering for it.
And then what would be their next matchup? I don't know. I don't have the scenes for it. Now, if they ended up then playing the Wolves, well, then that's a different story. But how about, let's say their next one up was Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. How cool would that be if Steph just lights it up and Draymond and Kristaps Porzingis, is that how you say his name?
Well, if they're on the 1-8 side, then they'd go through 4-5 next. So they would go through Houston, LA Lakers.
Probably
to that point.
Probably going to be Houston, right? Because,
sure.
So now, how exciting is that? Then I'd be pulling for them then. Now, if they meet the Wolves, it's a different story. But so there I would, because even though they were members of the Dynasty is no more. Yeah. They're all on their last leg. It's just like, and that's why I think we also that's why we celebrate Jack Nicklaus at age 46. Phil Mickelson, was he 50 or 51 when he won his PGA championship at Kiowa Island? Anytime, or when George Foreman, was he 45 when he won the heavyweight championship again? When guys are able to return to the thrilling days of yesteryear, it's kind of cool, right? But, rooting for dynasties doesn't do a lot for me. Let's take a break, come back. When we do, we'll bring in the legendary Mark Rosen for his last segment before he goes on a European vacation. He joins us next here on the Common Man program on the Fan.